Hello and welcome to the August 2017 release webinar for the Compliance Administration Enhancements. There have been a number of enhancements introduced to compliance administration in this release to both improve the consistency of the user experience in line with our other tax products and also to continue along our desired path to make the compliance administration functions exception-based. Accompanying this release is a new B2B package that requires installation at the same time as the August release. Failure to install the B2B service will result in the current matching functionality ceasing to operate. The new B2B service has a whole range of more extensive and improved matching capabilities. While the B2B functions will match automatically as part of the overnight download, we have also introduced the same matching capabilities into the manual process that a user can enact at any point in time against a specific taxpayer from the tax ledger page. A new set of system and user settings are available to ensure that the practice has full control over all of the new functions. There are changes in both the Tax Notices page and the IID Transactions page. The Tax Notices page, where filters have been applied for Agent, Matter Partner and Matter Manager, these selections are retained on exit and redisplayed again on opening. An Agent column is now available to be dragged on from the column selector. NOA Details page now displays the client's IID number. Filtered columns in both Tax Notices and IID Transactions pages now show in red to indicate that a filter is in place. This also shows a filtered selection in the column selector if the attribute is not displayed in the grid. IID Transactions page, columns for Agent, Matter Partner and Matter Manager are now available to be dragged into the grid. Okay, in the Tax Notices page, where filters have been applied for Agent, Matter Partner and Matter Manager, these selections are retained on exit and redisplayed again on opening. Filtered columns in Tax Notices page now show in red to indicate that a filter has been applied. This also shows a filtered selection in the column selector if the attribute is not displayed in the grid. An Agent column is now shown available to be dragged on from the column selector. In the NOA Details page, we now display the client's IID number. This has been scrambled in this example. On the IID Transactions page, columns for Agent, Matter Partner and Matter Manager are now available to be dragged onto the grid. In the NOA Details page, a number of functional improvements have been made. Where a terminal tax refund only value is displayed in Notice Received, the system will now automatically populate the writ and terminal tax values into the Assessed column. The change above will also prevent the yellow warning triangle and message that appeared in tax notices informing the user of a discrepancy. The ability to close a return has been added to the NOA Details page. Terminal tax refund value is displayed net of penalties and interest. In the NOA page, in this example, there is no stated writ value in the notice, but the return calculated values are the same as the terminal tax value. The system will update these figures into the Assessed column, leaving the user to just update the return status. The matching that's been applied in this example also now prevents the yellow warning triangle and message from appearing. You'll also see where the status is shown, there's a close button to enable returns to be closed from the NOA Details page. In this example, you'll see the terminal tax refund value now displays net of penalties and interest. It was previously included in the figure, making it differ from the return value. Before we look at the new ledger functionality, let's have a quick look at the new system and user settings to facilitate the matching process. In the eFile section, there are 3 new settings to control the matching behavior. The release notes provide more detailed information. There are 5 new matching rules in this release. Let's look at the first 3. If a terminal tax or provisional tax payment transaction amount exists in the ledger and an IID payment transaction of the same amount is downloaded via B2B, it will now be automatically matched. If there is no pay or APay transaction in the ledger and an IID payment transaction is downloaded via B2B that equals the provisional or terminal ledger's due amount and has a transaction date within 14 days of the ledger's due date, the system will automatically insert the B2B transaction. Matching assessment to the terminal tax value. In the ledger page, there is the Sync with ID button. This allows you to manually apply the same matching rules as the B2B service. In this example, we can see a payment transaction in the ledger with the same transaction date as an unfiled ID transaction. If we click on the button, it will apply all of the matching rules and those transactions should become matched. In the second example, you can see the third provisional instalment does not have a payment transaction against it. But under the unfiled ID transactions, you can see that there is a payment. Its transaction date is within 14 days of the third provisional instalment's due date, so it can be matched. In this case, it has inserted the new payment transaction. In this example, we have an assessment that previously wouldn't have matched because of the large variance between its date and the terminal tax refund due date. If we try the Sync with ID button now, it will match. There are two more matching rules that we'll cover shortly, as well as the deletion of multiple B2B transactions. This example is going to demonstrate a couple of rules being applied. An existing provisional assessment has been matched, but we've now received a provisional assessment reversal. The action is to undo the matching of the original provisional assessment and then discard both the original assessment and the reversal. There has also been a B2B assessment transaction received. That will be matched against the provisional and terminal tax due amounts. Let's now click on the Sync with ID button and see the results. As you can see, the provisional assessment and provisional assessment reversal have now been discarded, and the new assessment has been matched. Existing functionality allows you to select multiple transactions and match them or insert them in one go. This release introduces new functionality to allow you to also delete multiple transactions in one go. The deleted transactions are now appearing under unfiled transactions again. Thank you for viewing this webinar. Please ensure you also watch the brief August overview and the 901 webinar.